Good morning, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to join this webinar. So you know me, I'm Paco Abhelina. I lead the business for Philippines and Thailand for AdColony. Joining me on this webinar is my coworker Abhilash Krishnan. So Abby is the senior creative strategist sitting out of India. And the reason why we're holding this webinar is we are well aware of the challenges that all of our clients are facing in terms of utilizing or even sourcing assets to use around this period. So we know that the Philippines is still in GCQ, or at least Manila is still in GCQ, and no shoots or production can actually happen. So what we're presenting are real options for your clients to consider to really proceed with creative work without really producing any new assets, and we will be able to utilize them. Okay, so you're familiar with AdColony. We are a global collective of 65 plus designers. We are the most multi-awarded mobile partner in Asia Pacific. We have been nominated as for Philippine campaigns. We have been nominated and we have won as well awards in Southeast Asia and globally. And we fully intend to continue that tradition with the Philippine team. Okay, so we offer a gamut of creative services. So when I say creative services, it really runs the gamut from ideation and conceptualization. So usually when we get the briefs from you guys, we start with the briefs, the actual briefs that are given to the media and creative agencies. We actually prefer to be at the very onset of the creative process, so we can actually come in and uh, produce work that is really hooked on data via the mobile. So we create videos and we edit videos as well. We offer 2D and 3D animation. Our products now include AR filters in games. We offer interactive solutions that are playable. We offer a snippet of a game to the clients, not to the clients, but to the users. We also offer dynamic creative optimization. So this is done through API integration. And we actually create ads on multiple platforms. So we use Composer, Gbox, Celtra, Seismic, XD. So there's a lot of other things that we utilize as well. So we are very, very flexible to your needs. So this is a quick look at the work that you can get with AdColony. We offer really high performing video assets. We work with 90% of the largest Fortune 500 companies. All of our video is full screen and buffer free. And all of it is 100% viewable and audible. So all of the video that you will experience with AdColony is edge to edge, and it launches in less than 1 second. So our creative studio allows the end card to be like a blank canvas. So I would prefer, and I always say this to Philippine clients, I would prefer for our media partners to view AdColony assets, AdColony executions rather, as blank canvas, in that we can help you fill in the interactive portion. So all of our inventory is also brand safe, viewable, and audible. We are certified by different partners for brand safety and viewability. And that's AdColony. So we have a gamut of different formats. So the formats will be amply demonstrated by Abhilash later, but I want to quickly show you exactly what we do. So Aurora is our proprietary asset. AdColony started it. This is fully interactive video wherein the user doesn't have to wait for the end of the video to actually play with the video itself. That being said, we also have really great dynamic end card. So as mentioned earlier, the end card loads after the video. It's part and parcel of your media buy. and the end card can be a blank canvas. Can have a game, can have a gallery, can have even social sharing buttons, etc. We have rich media. We have animated overlays. So animated overlays are video with animated buttons, or instead of a plain button at the bottom right, it's animated and interactive. So it actually encourages more click-throughs. And again, we now offer playables that gamify the experience for the user. Okay, so for this portion, I'm gonna turn over to Abilash, who will tackle this part.
Thank you, Paula. And hello, everyone. I hope you guys are safe indoors and like having a good morning. So today we'll be covering, the different creative hacks and innovative ads that AdColony produces, and we will have a understanding of how the whole creative transformation process occurs. So starting with, we would like to tell you that we have a gamut of offerings. We can also, work on assets that are created for other platforms, like starting with print to mobile. So what we do over here is we try to understand the print assets, and we take few stock videos from different stock websites, and we create a visual mesh of it. And using the key visual that the brand has provided, we create a innovative visual experience. Also, we can work with web assets. So if the client has already worked on web ads, what we utilize is use web elements from the ad. And if you can look at this example of Charlie's Angels, what we have done over here is the client had Instagram videos which were square in nature, and we have merged the two to create a immersive ad experience for Charlie's Angels. And the CTA was get tickets, which used to take the user to the purchase ticket page. We also can work on TV ads, which we usually convert from TVCs to a highly interactive ad format, like we did for this Nescafe ad unit, where we pause the video at specific intervals. And what we have done is let the user interact with the brand and create a richer ad experience for them. Also, we love challenging briefs. So when a movie launch happened on Amazon Prime Video, which is a OTT in India, they reached out to us with just a mere poster, static poster, and a radio commercial that the brand had done already. So what we did is we created a layered animation on top of this and added the audio to it and created an immersive ad experience. So this shows us that we can use multiple assets across different mediums and make it workable for the mobile experience. Now, to understand, how we do it, we have to understand the key objective. So the key objective over here behind these ads is to engage the audience and create a lot of brand recall for the brand. How do we do that? We can do that with various methods, one of them being gamifying the ads. So what we have noticed is there is a 5x engagement compared to a interactive video ad when you have a engaging gamified ad. So for the brand Cox, what we did is we created a game where the user can maneuver their vehicle and collect elements to create points. And this kept the users engaged, and it created a 5x engagement for them. The next thing we would like to focus is to personalize. It's very important for the ad to be very personalized so that the users feel comfortable around it. So what we did over here when Helpsman wanted to create the ad unit, and showcase burger fest they were participating in. We created an ad unit where the users could drag and drop the elements of the burger and create their own burger. And 72% of consumers prefer to engage with personalized ads. So it makes more and more sense to make it more personalized. Along with personalization, it's very important to educate the users, since 85% consumers are more likely to buy if provided detailed product information. So what we do over here is NOR wanted to capitalize on the fact that people are spending a lot of time at home and trying different recipes. So they linked their product range along with recipe engine, and we created this ad unit where users could look at their product and also look at the recipes they could make out of it. So once we have a lot of engagement with the users, it's important to convert their thoughts to desirable actions. So how do we influence the audience to do that? Here are the steps. The first step is using a hyper customization using DCO. So what we have noticed is 30% higher brand recall for ads using DCO. So DCO is dynamic creative optimization. So the user basically sees different elements or different parts of the ad basis different conditions. So over here, what we have used is we have used pollution, humidity, and dryness to showcase different ad units. So the user will experience it basis what temperature conditions are there in his surrounding. So it becomes very customized to the user, and this creates a better brand recall. Next is to have a very simple message. People usually tend to forget that we need to have a very simple messaging and a clear CTA. This drives great conversions. Like we have seen that single CTA drive higher KPIs. So for Burger King, even though we had a drag and drop uh, interaction, we made sure that the CTA was very clear, learn more, which took the user to the offer page. So it's very important to have a simple message like this so that the users are clear as to what they have to do with the ad unit. Also, it's very important to reward the user. The user is giving their time to us, and it's very important to reward them for that. And what Blibli did in Indonesia is to utilize this. Since users are indoors, they created a experience where they are sending the user on a virtual aisle, and they have to pick few elements from the checklist. And as they do that, they get a free discount offer. So we have seen that 50% of customers spend more when they redeem a coupon. So using this as an insight, we created the ad and we rewarded the user. Also, what is important is to understand the user is ever demanding. They want to understand where they're putting their money in. They want to explore the product before they make the actual purchase. So what we did was over here, we created a ad unit where on top of the video, we integrated a 3D product range, and you could swipe to see the product in 360, as well as look at different color offerings that they have. And also in the end card, what we did was we gave more information with smaller video clips and have a buy now button which took the user to the landing page. There are 2x more conversions on interactive content compared to passive content. So it becomes more important to make it interactive and let the users explore. Next thing that we have to keep in mind is innovation. Since the internet is ever growing and people have to keep innovating to keep the users attention alive, and we have to make them understand the product offerings better and help them make a conscious purchase. How do we do that? So one of the ways we have seen is using augmented reality approach. Augmented reality is a $18.8 billion industry forecasted in 2020. And what we did is when Ponds reached out to us for the integration with Star Wars, we created an augmented reality game for them where the user's face is superimposed on the character and user has to say a word, Ganting, and every time they did that, they used to attack the oncoming dirt. So this created a very engaging ad format and let the user understand the brand and its offering as well as the promotion they had with Star Wars. Also, what is more important is that it's a connected world these days, and the users are looking for real-time updates. So when Goal.com tied up with Clearman for FIFA, what we did is we connected their system into the ad unit itself, and we started pulling live scores, live match stats, and even connected their social media feed into it. So every time there was a Twitter update, it used to reflect on the ad unit as well. And this makes it very relevant because the user might be watching the match and using game, and when they see the ad, it's very relevant to their current scenario. So 45% of consumers prefer real-time ad contextual messaging in ads. So it becomes more and more important to integrate with APIs to keep the conversation contextual. Along with all of this, we have to keep our eyes open. We have to look at the constant change that's happening in the industry and keep up with the trends. So we have noticed what are the trends going on in the industry, and we try to integrate that in our offering from AdColony. So one of the latest offerings that we have is the AdColony Stories. It's a newly launched product, and what we are trying to do over here is this is the first time in-app environment is giving you a stories format. So stories format is common on social media, and there is a exponential growth in the use of stories. We have seen that the impressions have grew 21% in APAC over the time. And what we did is we wanted to take this experience and get the users involved in it. Hence, we created the AdColony Stories format that gives the same experience that the user has on social media, but in an in-app environment. Also, the best benefit of using AdColony Stories is you can use short videos like the 6-seconder that you use for social media, and you can reuse it over here. And our creative team is expert enough to utilize the content that you already have and quickly turn around the ad units. The next thing that we have noticed is that people are getting more and more messaging friendly. They speak more with emojis than maybe even a telephonic call. And keeping this in mind, what we have created is we created a chatbot system where it is a non-intrusive way of communicating with the users, and by giving them options they can choose and interact with. And we have seen that 55% of consumers are open to try messaging apps to solve a problem. So this works perfectly for the brands offering, like we did for Udemy, where they suggested users courses they could do during the COVID situation and choose from a variety of offerings to what they would prefer and learn during this period. But the most important thing that we have to remember is nothing can beat a good visual experience, and that attractive visual content is half the job done. So we created pop-out video ads. Now, what are pop-out video ads? It's basically creating a video and popping out elements out of it. So it gives a very 3D, three-dimensional experience to the users, like you can see in this uh, example for Top Gun. So you can see elements like dust, you can see elements like the aeroplane coming out of the screen. This creates a very interesting and immersive visual experience for the users and helps us in a better conversion for the brand. Now we would like to take you through some reference case studies, and Paula will take you through it. Over to you, Paula.
Okay. So we have a number of really good case studies. I'll discuss 3 in this session. You can put out your phone so if you want to see the actual case studies with sound. So the first one here is one for X, wherein we created an end card, wherein the user has to tap to lift certain objects. So as you can see, there's not much that we had to work on for this in terms of assets, but we were able to deliver 30% engagement rate. So for perspective, typical video engagement rate in Philippines in general, as mobile, would be around 2 to 4%. So AdColony delivers ahead of that. If you wanna whip out your phone and check out through the QR code, please do. Okay, so the next case study is a local case study. This is what we have done for Samsung in 2019. This is the launch of Samsung Note 10. This had a really good engagement rate of 145%. We utilized interactive video here, in which all of the features are things that you can test by interacting directly with the video. We also delivered 9% market share increase because of this, tied directly to mobile, and the average dwell time was at 143. So this brought home the Drum Awards in Southeast Asia, and we were also nominated in the MMAs in global and in Southeast Asia for this particular case study. The next one is for Dancau. This is an Indonesian example. So this was the first time that Dancau, which is Nido here in Philippines, has utilized an interactive video. So what we've done here is, the promise of the product is to protect your kids from dirt, from microbes, from viruses, etc. And the user is supposed to clean the screen by wiping it off, to illustrate the way that the product actually protects your child. It had a really good engagement rate of 74%. Video completion rate is above par, also at 65%. And we had a brand lift study aligned with this, and it actually delivered 73% increased brand consideration. So I should note also that when you do the work with us, part of the buy and part of the products we offer is a brand lift study that can run alongside your campaign. This is part and parcel again of your media buy. So if you can imagine, with limited assets, we can churn video, we can churn rich media work, etc. And we can also deliver the post-campaign data that will help you create the next set of creatives as well. So the next part, I wanted to show you the KPIs. So if you see this grid, what we have done actually is, depending on your KPI. So some campaigns would have priority over CDR, video completion rate, viewability, it depends. We have specific ad units that answer each need. So simpler creatives deliver more click-throughs if the KPIs is delivering to the landing page. Video completion rates would be higher also for a little bit more simpler video assets. But in terms of engagement, for example, HD video with complex end cards and Aurora interactive videos deliver really, really good engagement rates. So I would say even that in the Philippine setting, we can see that users are actually very keen to interact with the ads. This is especially true during the lockdown. I guess people are bored and have more time on their hands. But suffice to say that we can be more playful with Philippine campaigns, and we can actually help you with that kind of interaction. So you can come to us with a blank brief, and we can create sky's the limit creative storyboards, and then we can work together in creating really good interaction for your campaigns. So if you have any questions, the box is open. Okay, so question, what is the best ad unit in driving e-commerce? So I would say for e-commerce results, meaning go towards your landing page. If you're driving landings to your e-commerce portals, I would say the HD video will overlay would be very effective. It has the highest click-through of anything. What is the turnaround time in doing interactive work? So typically interactive ad units would take, if it's simple, about 7 to 10 days. Could be less if your clients approve right away. But for more complex executions such as augmented reality or interactive that's really complex, it can take up to 15 days in production. Again, we find ways to shorten the time as needed. What is the minimum again for brand lift availment? So for the brand lift availment, it's not so much the buy as it is the number of impressions that are needed. So basically, if it's a quarter-long campaign, we need 3 million impressions, 1 million a month, to be able to ensure that it scales properly to a really valid number. Okay. So thank you, everyone. That's the last part of our webinar. So should there be additional questions that you have, or you require another session in any case to really dig deeper into what you guys can do, I'm all ears. Please, my email address and Charlotte's email address as well. We look forward to working with you again. Thank you.